because my energy is still recovering from a lot of these changes that we've been going through. So I'm giving myself a lot of grace during these times. Ooh, hello, beautiful soul. Welcome in. Welcome in. It's good to see you all. Thank you. So today is a collective because my energy is very low today. I'm very tired. Very, very tired. So we're just going to be cleansing out the collective. Sorry. Oh, me too, yeah. Yeah. Very tired today. That's all I can say. It's like head empty. Like a piece of coal. Right, there you go. Grand Rising Pops, welcome in. Grand Rising Abby, good to have you guys here. Thanks for being here, loves. Allow your energy to relax here as we are sinking in, as we're letting go. My hair feels weird today over here. Let's see if I can make that look better. Hello, lovely. Welcome in. Yeah, I don't even know how long I'm going to be on here for. Hello, Vanessa. Welcome in, beautiful. I had my tea this morning. Spitefully. I'm so curious as to what's going to come up today. I'm not going to be doing individuals today, no. We're just going to be doing collective session, tuning in with harmony in self, letting self be still. That's one of the most abundant things that we can do. You're welcome. Holding peace, one of the most abundant things that we can do. Holding stillness can be one of the most helpful things in our lives when we just feel peace and compassion to ourselves, to one another. So much like breath that I just want to move. In the collective and within myself. Yeah, this energy today is so curious. So let me know how you guys are feeling today. It literally feels like there is like this of course transformation, but like we're almost like floating, and then everything around us is like moving, but we're like slowly moving, if that makes sense. Like floating and watching everything around us shift and change, and observing it without attachment, letting go of the old changes. You keep yawning, yeah. Yeah, that's a good sign of release. Grand rising, admiring the flow, the movement, yeah. Yeah, admiring. That's a beautiful word, admiring. I feel tired, yeah. Over the weekend, I was hyper aware of all of the energy around me and transmuting it to love and light. Today, I'm exhausted. Same. I think that's what it is. Like, this weekend, we were definitely transmuting a lot of energy collectively as we moved into the 222 portal. So we had on Friday, the 0 degrees in Aries, and then we had the 222 portal. Just felt like everything was kind of coming to the surface. Everything was being aware, right? Like you said, Abby, everything is becoming aware. And so now today we're like, okay, now I can just rest. Now I don't have to be hyper aware of everything. I'm just going to be. So that's kind of the feeling that I have today as well. Yeah, exhausted, tired. I was busy this weekend bringing in the fire horse started with my plants. I love that. I think so many of us, right? So many of us had these plans. So actually this weekend I stayed in the van for the first time. It was really good. Sheldon was a little bit on guard, but I think it was what I needed to get inspired to keep going and to trust myself, even though it was snowing. There was beauty in it. There was beauty in knowing that I could handle anything. And then I was also visiting with family, and with family, with the 222 portal, it's all about relationships. So I was really noticing a lot of relational cyclical habits and karmic cycles that I was stepping into, and things that I could have ended, and things that were happening that I was just becoming aware of. And that awareness, that hypervigilance, right? It takes a lot of our energy to be aware. It's a lot easier to just go into a cycle and flow into it, but sometimes we actually are called to step out of the flow just to notice it first, to notice, wait, is this actually the direction I want to go? So I think that's also sometimes what we are called to do, which is interesting that I'm saying this because I never thought about it that way. Sometimes there is moments of just like stepping onto the side of the river and just observing, okay, there's multiple directions that I could go here next. Where do I want to go? I saw a bald eagle this morning on the Detroit River. I love that so much. I love that so much. Thanks for being here. Sleep so much. My body need it. Yes. Fan time. Yes. As soon as I left my house, I was ready for my midday nap. Yes. Much energy around. Good, good, good. Glad that that's how you're feeling, love. Lots of good energy. Like, there is a lot of good energy. It's just been also a lot. It's been a lot. I think we're also really being called to, at least I am specifically being called to really rest and notice all the changes that are happening without, thinking about what's the next thing, what's the next thing, what's the next thing. Because sometimes when we live in the future, when we're like, I know what is going to come next, when you're like deep into astrology or you're deep into tuning in with the future, like I do a lot, it can feel weird to sometimes just be present. So that's what I'm really being called to do, is be present in today, in the now, in the moment. Nothing in the future really matters at this time. I think because, again, so many people are thinking about, okay, what's happening with the UFO disclosure. Oh, something also. If you guys hadn't seen a video that I reposted on my YouTube channel, which is called, I think it's like We Found Planet 9 or something. Please go check that out. Get information about Planet 9, because they're realizing that there's another planet in our solar system, and because there's particles that are starting to, come into our atmosphere more, they're realizing that this planet is probably getting close to us. And there is theory that this planet actually comes from a different solar system altogether, but our solar system like pulled it in while the other solar system was, going by. And it pulled it in while it was still developing, so it's like basically like the core of an ice giant, but it hasn't like developed as a big ice giant. I think it's like the 4 times the size of Earth, but its cycle is super long, and it takes like thousands and thousands of years for it to even cycle around what we can see it as. So they're starting to get evidence about this 9th planet, which would make so much sense about so many things. And if it is a planet from another solar system that has information about other solar systems, that could be a huge part of the disclosing as well. Hello, Danny. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. So I just thought that was very fascinating, that information about another planet. Let me talk about the words of the day as we get into this. Rest, completion, commitment, memory, tranquility, longevity, decoration, and stillness. Grounding this energy in. What? Is it normal to feel darkness around our field as a protection source? I don't think anything is normal, right? Everyone's experiences are very unique. But I would say that is definitely something that has happened and can, if we see it as beneficial, be beneficial to us. Almost as if like think about it as like wearing sunglasses, right? The sun is still really beneficial, and when we wear sunglasses, it lessens the sun coming in, but it helps us in our physical body be able to receive more of the sunlight because it's not as bright, right? So sometimes when that happens in our work field, sometimes it's just being like, let me just shade you real quick so that you can really integrate everything that you've been learning. Because if we just have our energetic aura or our eyes open so wide to the sun all the time, we're going to get some holes in the back of our eyes. Same thing with our aura. If it's constantly open, constantly accessible, it could sometimes be a little bit too much to our energetic body. Hello, welcome in, Peter. We're just talking about energy. Yeah. That's what I'd say to that, which is why I always am really uplifting about being in a low. Like for a lot of us that experience the feminine cycle of highs and lows, when you're feeling like you're dipping into a low, really feel all of it, because it is meant for your energetic body to sustain you as cyclical beings, as feminine beings that work with the cycles. If you try to deny the lows because it doesn't feel comfortable for other people around you, then you're just going to keep causing more and more issues and more exposing of yourself to others. Really allow yourself to sit in those moments because it's helpful. I work with energy on heaven. Today is a heavy energy on heaven, negative. Interesting. I think there is a huge opening, like how I'm connecting with heaven is there's like a huge opening. And so as more energy is coming in, as more insight, as more wisdom, as more of this knowledge comes in, we also have to learn how to digest it, right? Because the more information that comes in and we're not integrating or we're not digesting it, all it does is creates more energetic baggage around us. Just like I talked about with food before. If you're really hungry and people keep giving you food but you don't eat it, you just hold it, then you're going to just have a ton of this baggage. So integration and these moments of integration days, or these moments of deep stillness or moments of rest, are really, really important. So I will roll with it. Yeah, absolutely. 100% feel into that feeling. It is soothing, isn't it? It's like a relaxing. Another thing that I like to think about when kind of working with the darkness or working with the void or working with the lows is it reminds me of the womb. And so when we can allow ourselves to sit into the low, we're allowing ourselves to be held by the womb, by the cosmic mother. The cosmic father will often feel potentially like that deep light, that high exposing. Yeah, I love that. Oh, thank you, beautiful soul. Welcome in, you guys. Yeah. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate y'all. Wow, you guys, I feel so tired and it's so weird. 9/11 every day, but now starting to see 11/19 or 10/19. Unsure what 9/11 means. What if the low last year is how to cope with no happiness long term? So what I've done for this that has been really helpful for me, because I've caught myself in months and months of lows, and I've had my experiences with highs and lows. I mean, I have been diagnosed with bipolar disorder 2, bipolar 2, which is more on the depressive side, which is interesting because it doesn't really feel like that anymore. And I've experienced my deep lows. And so what I had learned from my lows is to tell myself it's not always going to be like this. Because when we tell ourselves that this is just our reality, that it's always going to be like this, we almost give ourselves the expectation that it's not going to change. And then we constantly get disappointed in ourselves. So when you just tell yourself it's not always going to be like this, and whenever the time is ready for you to learn the lesson of the low, you'll kind of start to shift your way back up. But oftentimes when we're put into moments of lows or put into moments of depressions, it is to learn a lesson about ourselves. I think we have to understand that about most dis-ease energies, moments of dis-ease, or moments of, I think dis-ease is the best way to say it. All of them are lessons for us. All of them are physical manifestations of what's going on the inside, right? Thank you for the gift. Hello, Luna. Welcome in. Of course, my cycle started yesterday. Honestly, I love that for you guys. I really enjoy being on my period. It's my truth. I'm sorry, your energy is listening, love. Oh, yay! I love that. No, it's not something to be sorry about, but I do appreciate the love from the ocean. It's more just something that I'm observing, right? I think that's something I do want us to be aware of, is like when we're saying sorry to someone, and this isn't just to Ramona, this is just something I'm talking about, so never take what I say as something personal, because it's not that personal. But I think sometimes when people are feeling their emotions or they're feeling down, and then we tell them like, I'm sorry you're feeling that way, it makes it feel like that must be bad. That must be bad. Right? But if we're just like, I honor you for feeling that, right? There's a difference in energy. You're started on the 17th of Fire Horse. That I don't put God awful products into my body to counter the bleeding. Yeah. Which comes with less cramps. Yeah. I'm scared for my first one since having a baby. I honor you. Thank you. Thank you, Ramona. You're so cute. Yeah, it's definitely just one of those things that I've thought about many times, and like how I want to interact with someone, and sometimes how my interactions are different than others because I'm not assuming that there's something to be sorry about, right? It's like, and I think some people, they might look for that type of level of sympathy of like, oh, I'm sorry you're dealing with that. But ultimately, sympathy is kind of like an empty space. But when you can really appreciate or honor someone for the emotion that they're going through, it can help it, honestly, in my opinion, because you're giving them a different perspective. You don't have to feel bad about feeling your emotions. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? More I eat, the more I lose energy. Solar powered love, the sun, so powerful. Energy, water, and fruit. Sure. I do love me some fruit. I've been speaking this so much, yes. Mermaid energy, just flow with the wave. Yeah, I love the energy, Ramona. Thank you. No, today we're not gonna have a list today. I'm just gonna do collective. Fibroids. I used to have awful periods because I had fibroids. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I just feel called to hold space. And I was even asking, like, Spirit, what do you want me to do? And earlier I was like, should I just not even talk this session and just meditate? And give you guys a space to observe peace and silence. Because there's so much energy shifting. And I'm feeling, I feel also very emotional today. Which is good because I have a healing for me actually later today, which is very vulnerable, but it's really beautiful. Lots of emotions moving as we are shifting through that 222 portal of relationship dynamics, shifting our dynamics with ourselves. What is our relationship with ourselves? What is our relationship with our inner child? What is our relationship with our familials, family, friends? Thanks for being here, Kate. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you guys for being here. Just feel into those vibrations moving through your body. They're here to help you harmonize with the field. And to let tears flow. I love that, Helen. Oh, thank you for being here. Repairing some familial bonds and inner child. Yay, Luna. How beautiful. Yeah, yesterday, whew, like even thinking about it, I'm getting emotional again. I don't know why. Like today I just feel very emotional. But yesterday when I was sitting with my inner child, I really had to address that little child version of me that's like was sharing the gospel with everyone and was very much indoctrinated into how I thought that I needed to act. And so, but it's also hard because seeing myself here today, I think my little inner child would have very much judged this version of me, but at the same time would have been very proud of it. So it's like I'm still learning to actually let go of some of that judgment from my inner child, where she would have thought that all of my lifestyle was a sin. And now, and I mean, I've had all of these years to work through that, but it's just interesting to like go back and be aware of it, that shadow side of my inner child. That was me as well, yeah. Yeah, I'm learning to let go when I feel it now instead of waiting for anger. Past wound, yep, absolutely. And so I'm learning to give myself a lot of grace. Like it's as if I'm like also, me as an adult is going back and giving my inner child grace. Because she thought she knew what she wanted, right? I thought that I knew what was best for me. But I also had no clue. I was just regurgitating what everyone else was telling me. And then I thought for myself. And then I met God even deeper. And I'm so grateful for that I could give myself the opportunity to be all of me. Such grace and such peace, yeah. Anger go by journaling. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I know that all of us do it, but this is just my experience and my story and what I'm dealing with and what I'm working through, so. Working now in the heart chakra. They're showing me the heart like matcha. Like this beautiful green, liquidy, flowy, herbal, natural energy moving through the heart. A little bit of sweetness in there too. Thank you for your appreciation. Thank you for honoring me, and I honor each and every one of you guys as you're here as well. I think like there is beauty in, I think when I'm more tired, I think I can get a little bit more vulnerable and also maybe a little bit sharper, so really sorry about that, but I did still feel very called to be here and to be present with this feeling, because I think so many of us can relate to this, and to just witness one another in a space where we can just rest and not have to be anything, not have to present ourselves in any certain way, I think can be really beautiful. Thank you, Abby. I appreciate you, love. So really just doing some pretty silent connections with the body, moving some energy very subtly, very gently. There's a beautiful gentleness in the collective here today as we are integrating. Today is a huge integration day. Another thing I would say, yeah, thank you, Kate, for being here. Another thing that I would say today, and something that someone said on the internet, was the world now runs off of vibes. And so those that are really good with understanding vibes or understanding how to put your certain vibe together or the vibe of the future together is going to be really important. And this is why I've been really big into like collages recently, or like, if anyone is like a Pinterest girly, you know what I'm talking about. Pinterest has something in it that it's been my number one social media, which some people don't say it's a social media, but my number one social media since I first got an iPod. I love Pinterest, and that's where a lot of imaginative thought leaders will find those images, find those pictures, put them together, and create the future that we want. So that's a lot of what I've been doing recently with like vibes, with energy, with thoughts. What is the collage of energy? What is the collage of images that I want for this planet? So if you feel called today, even in your restfulness, to just allow your restful energy to create something really easy, right? Easeful, relaxed, something very relaxed for the future, I think can be really beneficial. This is why on days that we have low energy, it's actually inspiring us for the future to be like, in the future, we don't have to work so hard 9 to 5. We don't have to do all of this. We can trust the cycles of our body. We can navigate working with our own body first and priority, right? So this is something I was thinking about yesterday. The rules that I follow are, number one, my own rules. If there is rules outside of me that do not align with my inner rules, I will not follow them. And this is why I can get in some energetic trouble, some physical trouble from time to time. This is why I don't work at a facility or a job. This is why I work for myself, because my sovereignty is so strong in my body that if someone tells me to do something that is not in alignment with my inner sovereignty, it cannot be physically, it cannot be done by me. I just can't do it. And it causes a lot of pain in my body if I'm being called to do something. So when I was working in retail, I was working at a pet store, and we kind of were told every time to get these people to donate for something, but I knew that the donation was a scam. I just wouldn't do it. I simply wouldn't do it. I couldn't do it. When I was at Starbucks and there was someone that was having, I don't know, a difficulty with a drink or something, I would just give away the drink, even though it wasn't allowed for me to do. I just didn't see the worth of fighting over a $5 drink when this big, huge, multi-billion-dollar company was, making so much money. It didn't make sense to me. Like, there's a lot of things for me personally that my inner sovereignty did not match up with the world around me. And so now, as we're stepping into these co-creator times, as we're stepping into creators of the new earth, that inner sovereignty is being called to the forefront. That inner sovereignty is saying, listen to that in your heart, because most of us have a very similar alignment in the heart about values. And it's going to actually be much easier to unify the collective when we all start listening to our heart rather than listening to our mind. I appreciate anytime you share with us your time, space, and energy. Thank you. You guys are sweet. You know what I'm talking about? So also shout out to all of those that do have a regular job. Because I genuinely send you so much love. Dearly. Dearly, dearly. Not that it's bad. I think I'm just not that person that likes people to tell me what to do. I like to tell people what to do. Yeah. Cheers to that. You posted a video on exactly that this morning. That's crazy. Yay, cheers. I was thinking about you, Danny. Working as a nurse in this time is a struggle for real. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because even uh, I mean, okay, here's another job that I worked. I was a CNA. I was a nurse aide, and I had to quit that because I did not like what I was seeing on the inside. Well, also because I was experiencing some mediumship there, and thought I was going crazy. But mainly, I saw some maltreatment. I saw people not caring. I saw so much work being put onto one person. It wasn't fair. Giving advice for pediatrics that I don't align with is hard. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. I find I'm having a hard time interacting with people who I see as earth angels, light workers in person. I don't know why. I wonder, that's a very interesting thing because kind of same, Abby. Like, I honestly, this is why I keep myself online. I'm like, people stay awake. I think this is something I need to learn as well. For example, when they say cough and congestion can last 2 to 3 weeks and you can't do anything about it. I worked as a dietary aide and the amount of bullying and mistreatment was astounding. Yes. Can you tell them that, Danny? Because I think you should still do that. Because what the hey? What the hey? I'd still do it. No, Abby, let me think about that. Why is it hard to interact with other light workers or earth angels? I think to an extent we see ourselves in others like that, and so we start to see, the mirrored reflection, right? We start to see, oh, they act like that. That's kind of weird. Okay, now I need to self-reflect on like how I'm showing up in the world. Things like that. At least that's what it has been for me. Like a lot of times when I, tune in with other earth angels or light workers, I'm like, oh geez, I have to notice my spiritual ego. I'm not better than anyone. And that's the truth. I'm not better than anyone. Whether they connect as an earth angel, a light worker, or just a regular schmegular human, I'm not better than anyone. So I've had to address that within myself when connecting with others as a mirrored reflection. I still have to follow some some protocols and just give extra tips. Yeah. I've always been pushed away when I accidentally spoke a lot about supplements to help with sleep and mood. I love that, Danny. I love that you're infiltrating that space. Yeah, but for light workers, yeah, that's what I would say towards that. I'm not sure if there's nothing else is coming up at the top of my head. But I also don't interact with a lot of light workers. I don't interact like other than on here, which is different because you were talking about in person. If that's spot on, I think it's the fear of the mirror, and I don't want to fear that. Yes, right. There's also what I'm feeling from the fear of the mirror, right? There's this energy of like you can see their power, and you see that power in yourself. And then we also have to address competition, right? Sometimes we can be competitive. We could be like, oh, well, I'm this amount of light. And that doesn't matter. Everyone is on their spectrum of light. This doesn't have to relate to you, Abby, but I'm just kind of talking about these things. Because I've been there too, right? I'm like, oh my gosh, that person is like so lit up. Like, how can I get there? Like, why am I not acting like that? But then I'm like, it doesn't matter. Because I'm uniquely supposed to be me. We all have things we need to address on a regular basis. Absolutely. Sure. For sure. Yeah, but it's not supposed to be competitive. And I think it's interesting because with certain individuals, and Abby, this is why I also want to say, with certain individuals, they are going to have more of a competitive nature. So one, address that. Is that you? Is that you that's trying to have the competitive nature? Or is that them that you are feeling and maybe that competition isn't for you? Just maybe it's not. Maybe those light workers or those people aren't for you, right? I think that's totally allowable as well. I think a lot of the spiritual community isn't for me. And a lot of people don't align with me. There's a lot of people that don't align with me. And that's totally okay, because it's not for them. Everyone in our life is a mirrored reflection, because we are all different fractals of God. So observing one as greater than the other creates hierarchy. And I don't agree in hierarchy, which is why I also don't agree in the patriarchy, and which is why I don't agree in the matriarchy. I agree in oneness, unity, connectivity, love to all. I think a lot of times people do, because we have seen the patriarchy for so long. There is a lot of people that are like, okay, then let's have the matriarchy. I don't agree with that either. But the thing that I was going to say about reflections with other light workers is sometimes we see their power, and there can sometimes be this feeling of like jealousy of like, how are you allowed to let all of that power out and be seen without self-judgment? Because I think I do feel this a lot from other people, whether they're in my community or not, that there is a jealousy of how I'm allowing myself to express myself without shame. Most people think that I should be ashamed, but I don't. I'm not. I don't want to. It's not something I enjoy to feel. I've been there. I've done that. It's not for me any longer. Sure, there's time and places of moments of shame, but for the baseline, I'm no longer the shame queen that I used to be, which I literally called myself that. And I think people don't know how I do that, especially those that have a Christian background, because Christianity is built on shame. It's built on shame. Shame and guilt are the two lowest emotions on the planet. Yeah, shame is right above death. Shame is right above death. I was sitting there. That's why people were asking before, okay, what do you do when you sit in a depressive episode for years, months, years? Learn from it. What are you asking to learn? What is that moment asking you to learn? Can you let go of shame? And I had to let go. Yes, maybe it was through getting hospitalized and going to the psych ward, but I learned. I sat with that. I said, okay, I can't do this ish anymore. I gotta go. I can't be ashamed. Like, there's nothing that it is doing for me. This is not in any way nutritional to my psyche. I have to let that go. And your emotions are not your enemy. They're the doors to change. Absolutely. Come on. Come on. Speak, speak, speak. But I want to kind of go back to that concept of A lot of Christians are built on shame. When you're built on that frequency of shame, that low energy of guilt, of I am a sinner, my lineage is of sin, everything that I do is not perfected enough, I constantly need a savior outside of me, I am not good enough. When that's the foundation of a religion, it is so easy to be siphoned. It is so easy to be manipulated there. It is so easy to be fear-mongered. And I'm not saying that all of them are, but I do think when that is the programming of a whole religious text, or whole religion, not the religious text necessarily, a lot of things change. Also, shaming emotions is another layer of shame that makes us feel wrong for feeling emotions that are considered wrong. Anger, grief, and jealousy are human. It's how you grow from them. Thank you for that perspective, Abby, because we were just talking about jealousy. I think because I experience a lot of the opposite end of jealousy, of people being jealous of me, I feel it negatively, but this is really good to observe. Like, yeah, jealousy is actually an energy of growth. You just have to perceive it that way. And so all of those in my life that hold that towards me, or envy, I can just also perceive it as them wanting to be like me. I can see it as admiration. Recognizing how the triggers show up, it's a place to grow from, exactly, yeah. I've been on the receiving end of a lot of envy. It's very dark, yes. Something that I want, but I don't think I can, yeah. And that I think when other people feel that towards me, and you know, don't get me wrong, I've had that myself as well, but I do feel like it's more the other end. It's really interesting because it's like I don't want them to feel that. I want them to know that it is accessible. I want them to know that it is accessible to live the life that they truly want to live. They don't have to be jealous, because jealousy then is just giving me their energy. And sure, I can transmute that, and I do, but it's like I don't want your energy. Like, I have an ever-flowing, lasting life of energy flowing in me. I don't need yours. Focus on yourself, you know? Focus on who you're becoming. Focus on what you're doing. You don't need to focus on me. Envy is when the person doesn't want you to have what you have and they want your position. Sure. Jealousy is usually romantic or love-based. I don't think so. I think jealousy is much more than just romance. What happens to your energy when someone offers truth? Jealousy is also there to keep people small. They have to have the mindset to want to grow, otherwise it's dangerous, right? That's why I keep my circle very small, because friends are jealous, absolutely. This is why I don't interact with people very often, which I think all of this is coming forward for a reason. I think we as a collective are addressing our fears with jealousy. So I think from the other end, I think it is important. So, you know, the people that are sending jealousy, you know, deal with that on their own. But it's also the other end of receiving jealousy without being victimized, because that's something we talk about a lot in this collective, is how can you alchemize things so you're not the victim, because the victimhood mentality just keeps you limited, doesn't really do much of anything. So I think like I said, starting to observe jealousy as admiration can also open a doorway to the other side, to those that are sending the jealousy, to see that it's possible. Because I think when there's someone that's sending jealousy and someone that's receiving jealousy, and you just kind of keep it there, and you're like, oh, well, they're jealous, what can I do? It doesn't do anything. But when you can open the door of jealousy and change and transmute it within yourself, you then open the door within them. But of course, people are going to react how they want to react, but also understand in every single relationship and every single dynamic of things, you are just as much an influence as the receiver than you are the giver. Everything in our life is relational. It's dynamic between two. Either it's God and you, or you, someone else, and God. Friends are humans too. I lost friends this year because of the jealousy. That's totally fair. And that concept of friends are human too, sure, yes. But also, if those friends aren't in alignment with you, they can be human and they can go away. You know, we can respect that out of them. Like, I have people in my life that are human and I love them so dearly. I'm not going to keep them close to me. But I love them so dearly and I respect them in their choices and their humanness and how they live their life. But it's not for me, and I don't really want them near me. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, however that takes works. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's, yeah, jealousy among siblings and with parents. That's kind of the conversation I've been thinking of this whole time for me, is like immediate family. I don't really care about other people. Like, I kind of have this mentality, I really don't care about what other people think of me. Granted, when I was younger, oh boy, I really cared. I cared a lot. I learned that I shouldn't care because a lot of times I'm actually smarter than other people. Again, maybe that's me being a little egotistical, I don't know. But a lot of times I just don't respect their lifestyle, so why would I expect them to respect mine? That doesn't really matter. But with family, there is a little bit of a different dynamic, right? There's a different dynamic that's like, I care about you a lot. Like, I really do care about you, and sometimes it still doesn't feel like you care about me, or all of that stuff, you know? Or there's jealousy towards me, but I'm the youngest, or the child, or the one that is, I don't know, it's hard. I'm not doing any harm, but at the same time, to others, it might feel like harm. Sure. Time for a cool change. So I also want to address jealousy and envy towards the feminine side as well, because that is something within the patriarchy that was created. We can also see this from what is a huge wound of women aggression. The witch wound. When we had to point fingers to other wise women in the collective so that we wouldn't get killed or burned at the stake. The witch wound is a huge emotional wound that has been cycling through the earth for a while now. And this is still something that we are addressing when we had to point fingers and call someone else out. So that in itself can hold a really strong energy of jealousy, or a strong energy of frustration to others, other women specifically. So we want to address that in ourselves. Where does that feel like it plays a part? There's a bug on my bed. See, this is why y'all probably think I'm the nicest person. Sometimes some people have said that. Nah, this bug is going. Bye. You're yeeting out of here. Get out. Don't be on my bed. Don't do that. Gross. I actually don't know where it went. I was trying to fling it off my hand and then it didn't stay on. Or it did stay on. And then I just kind of flicked it. Yeah. That bug can be poor. Adios. Not rich anymore. Not in my bed. Not in my bed. Not in my bed. Girl, don't mess with me. No bugs. I'm fine with a bug here and there. Not on my bed. Not on my pillow. No, sir. Anyways, jealousy. It was a good way to break up that conversation. Ugh. Not that type of guy. Whew. But I think this conversation is coming up for a reason. Come on, Abby, speak. Let me read this out loud. I think we are being challenged on how we can be seen in the world too. At least I am. I can't hide when the mission is so grand. 100%. 100%. This year has been what I've kind of labeled internally to be the year of being seen. And when we're seen, more people want what we have. When we can actually be joyful and grateful and have so much gratitude for the life that we have, there can be jealousy. But again, allow that jealousy to also be admiration. Not necessarily spiritual bypassing, but just alchemy. I think a lot of times people might see the work that I do as spiritual bypassing with alchemy. I don't know, maybe not. This is just my perception of things because I have been called that before. Spiritually bypassing. But the thing is, with my energy, I'm fully addressing the feelings. I'm fully addressing the feelings. Yeah, that doesn't make me feel good that other people are envious or jealous of my energy. But what the hell am I supposed to do about that? That's not my problem. That's their problem. And then I go, okay, bye. Energetically, goodbye. Anyways, that's a whole combo. Address that inner witch wound. Let's read the words of the day again, you guys, because I feel like we could have some insight here. Rest, completion, commitment, memory. Did I spell memory wrong? Maybe I did. Tranquility, longevity, decoration, and stillness. A lot of similar concepts here of very restful, very sweet, tranquil. But then these things of memory coming in. Longevity, commitment. And then the one kind of oddball word is decoration, which I really love. Because even in these moments of stillness, we're still creating, right? We're still creating. We're still allowing ourselves to be the co-creators we know that we are. And this is what I said in the beginning. When we allow ourselves to rest, that is creation, period. Because what are we telling the universe that we need and want in our life? Is rest, tranquility, peace, stillness, love. When we can allow ourselves to be in that mode, in that modality of rest, we are creating more rest. Most match your weekend. Love that, Alice. Familial bonds. That energy is coming up a lot. What we're connecting with ourselves, what we're connecting with our family. What we're connecting to those that are so close to us that they might feel like family, friends, right? Most words aren't making sense. Come on, yeah, because if you guys haven't heard, the English language is actually very much, like, it's very much a part of the old system. It's like a lot of the words, a lot of the things are like exactly opposite energetically. Like the letters are exactly opposite of the meaning, energetics wise. So like things, maybe even like Hebrew is a lot more in alignment with light language, but English is like not. Blessed, be less. Yeah. That's wild. That one's so hard for me because I love the word blessed. I love blessing. It's hard. Mourning, right? There's a lot of words that just don't make sense. I also never spell grateful the quote unquote right way. I'm always going to spell it Greatful, not Grateful, like a cheese grater. It's not going to happen. I'm going to spell it great because you are great. Hebrew is how I see numbers from right to left. Yeah. I love having a little bit of Hebrew on my wrist. Hebrew and healer. Hebrew for healer. Yeah. I'm so full of gratitude. Yeah. And good morning. Like what? Right. Like why are we mourning? Why are we mourning? Why are we sad this morning? Why are we sad this? What's another word? Can we say, I mean, this is why we say grand rising, at least in my opinion, this is why we say it, because it's like, that doesn't make sense to be mourning or to be sad about a new day. It doesn't make any sense. Grand rising. But anytime that I say that to my mom, she's always like, what? So I have to just say good morning to her because she doesn't like when I say grand rising. She thinks it's too hippie, which is fine. It's okay. I am deep in my soul. Yeah, it's just weird, isn't it? It's weird. What are some other words that just don't align? There's so many words that are just like flying through my head. You know what word that does make sense though? Breakfast. C'est bonjour. You understand? Yeah. Right, because hello, like hello, right? Hello is kind of has that word hell in it, which is like, that's fine. But it's also like, why? Why are we saying hello? Are we trying to create hell on earth? Are we consistently doing that? But then it is funny because hello and hi is hi. Hello is down here. So it's weird because they're like the same word, but different energetics behind the two words, even though it's the same concept of greeting. Oh, I'm sorry, beautiful soul over there on YouTube. I'm sending you so much love as you're navigating life. Okay, this is something I do want to talk about is the word discipline. And I'm going to write that down actually. Discipline. Because I like to use the word devotion as well when talking about discipline, because sometimes there is this really harsh energetic standard behind the word discipline, and devotion kind of feels more feminine in nature towards I'm going to take care of myself. So discipline or devotion, dedication. But all of these words are very important because they are some of the only things that cannot be faked in this world. With a world with AI, a world with everything being on the internet, some of the only things that cannot be faked or cannot be moved around is discipline. For example, let's go into maybe a topic of weight loss. You can lose weight with a shot, a pill, a tablet, something. You can lose weight by a surgery. You can lose weight by changing your image in a picture, editing out the way that you want to look. But physically having strength in your body by taking care of yourself day in and day out, by physically having health where you take care of yourself, that's discipline. That cannot be faked. It cannot be moved around. That's something that's very important as we're moving forward into the new earth. Because we're all asking ourselves to actually show up, to not take the shortcut, to actually show up fully in who we're becoming, in who you want to be, who you want the world to be. One that's real, not cutting corners, doing the hard work and enjoying it. That's just one example. But there's many different things of dedication as well, even like meditation, finding stillness, finding silence. People that don't have discipline cannot, most likely cannot meditate, because you have a phone, you have electronics all around you that is constantly going to give you the dopamine that you might want. But when we sit back and we actually meditate and we don't need that dopamine and we allow our body to relax, that is a discipline that the world needs to see, in my opinion. In my opinion. Another esoterical bullshit. Okay, what I'm talking about is discipline. Is that esoteric bullshit? I think most like people that are coaches or trainers will talk about that. So I don't know why I'm the esoteric one. But yes, you're right. 11:11 on the clock. I ain't mad at your opinion. You're allowed to have that, fam. You're allowed to have that. You're allowed to think that. Analog hobbies. I am Sephardim. Okay. I know what a seraphim is. Sututu aramas kunukuesh kadetakipias. Nili amaromos unukuash kananakiki. Let's see if there's any other information that we... Thank you, I'm glad you're here. Let's see if there's any other information that the collective could hear. I am seeing a like snake type being. Snake. Saying something about health. Give me a second. My kitty's at the door. My kitty. Hey, 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 hey. How are you? Did you have fun outside? Did you have fun? My little kitty boy. Say hi to everyone. Hi. Me and Shelly, we stayed in the van a couple nights ago. We had a good time. Look at him loving dancing. Hi. He's like a little purr boy right now. Got some hair on my face. He's my little protector. He was so cute, but we stayed at my my brother's house, and he like was inside, and he was so chill. He's so chill with animals too, like dogs. There was 4 dogs in the house, and he was not bothered one bit. Yeah. Hello, Chris. Welcome in. Sorry, sometimes sometimes I be reading words and just like look at it thinking that I'm going to be reading, but I'm not actually reading. I'm just like looking at the words. Okay. A cat very similar to him came out to the car when I was leaving a bar and was talking to some friends, and this cat gets on top of the car we are next to watch over us. Oh, that's so cute. Very magical. I was just staring at your text because I was also trying to figure out which words were cat and which words were car. That's so cute. I love that. I love seeing cats in the wild. Thank you for the gifts. Thanks for being here, love. Thanks for being here. I just like, this is why it's hard for me to like read books. This is what I was doing like literally in high school, middle school, elementary school, when they were like telling me to read. I was just like looking at the page like, oh, those are pretty letters. Not putting the letters together. Y'all, I failed spelling. I failed spelling. I had to take those extra reading classes, don't you worry. Typing in words are not my strong suit at this time in my life. Yeah, totally. You know, honestly, they have not been my strong suit most of my life. I don't see words in my head. This is what I was thinking about. Okay, y'all that don't have inner vision, you know, it's something that I really have always had. It has enhanced throughout my time, but it's something I have always had. What do you think about when you think? Do you not think in your head? Do you see letters? Is it just blank? Is it, what do you see? What's in there? I genuinely don't know. And it's no judgment, because honestly, like, there's reasons for that. What I'll say, I say this to a lot of people, is like, when you have a very active third eye, it can be very, very distracting. Shapes. I definitely see, is it audio only? Symbols. I can understand that. Words. Okay, you have words. I was wondering if some people have words, because that is not something I have. I do not have the skill of seeing words. Like, I do sometimes, but really not at all. Like, if I'm thinking about a word, it's not the word. It's not letters. I'm thinking about the color of the word, the shape of the word, the way that the word looks on paper, but not at all like how to spell it, what it is, the concept of words. I see a vision like movies, not words. Yeah, same. Abby's doing God's work over there. I got nothing. Nothing at all. No flash sentence. It's so fascinating. It's so fascinating. But I think there's also, again, I want to say there's nothing wrong with not seeing anything. It's actually very beautiful, because what I'm thinking about now is like, there's a lot, I would say that there could be more peace when you're not seeing all of these images. Like, I have a very hard time reading a book or sitting in silence, because I have so much I'm thinking about up there. You have sound. They say because you speak ancient like language. With me, yeah. Like the sound of words as I'm typing them, or then songs are triggered by words. Feel dumb like I don't know anything. No. I think, again, I want to say, I think there's really deep importance in not necessarily having everything in there, because there is more stillness. And I think, again, I want you to change that word of dumb, but more like a fresh perspective, or like, I don't know, the word innocence is also coming to mind towards that, because you don't have all of this psychic clutter. And oftentimes those that don't see inner vision probably aren't also receiving, I don't know if this is true or not because I don't know, but might not be receiving as much of the psychic clutter from others and in the collective. Maybe you are emotionally through your feeling, because people will have that inner sight here in the heart where you feel. So that's another thing that I do want to share with the collective for those that don't see, is oftentimes your third eye can actually be dropped down into the heart, which is also a beautiful technique for those that do have an overactive third eye, to drop it down into the heart and just sink into that feeling. It's really beneficial. And that's where you can get into that concept of just gnosis, when you just know things because you understand the feeling here. I do better with my third eye while my eyes are open. I agree. Well, I don't know. I know I used to be like that a lot, but I don't know. I think it's like even now. But I used to be much more like that, because like teachers would be teaching history class and I'd be like off in a totally different land, you know? My eyes were open. I was staring at one thing and just zoning in, tuning in, thinking about everything in the universe. This is just, a collective session. We're just talking, chit-chatting, using our energy for the highest good, right? You do see, yeah. Yeah, it got really activated yesterday. I actually put a little bit of that Florida water oil that you gave me, Vanessa, which I'm also going to post something about that. Is you I was actually born with like purple forehead right here. Me and my sister were. And I would, when I was younger, I used to be able to like activate it by focusing in, and it would get purple, and then it would go back to skin color, which is kind of funny. Yeah, but anyways, yesterday I put the Florida water over it before I went to bed, and I think it kind of just got activated. Yeah. I am craving boba right now. Ugh, that's my spiritual insight. I'm craving boba. Don't take things so seriously, y'all. All day, every day. Yo, I got this little thing of Florida water oil stuff that my beautiful friend Vanessa gave me, and I might make a video for y'all because I have a whole oil collection about anointed oils, and I talk about self-anointing all the time. I love using oils a ton. Big fan of it. But I was putting a little bit of Florida oil in my spray bottle that I use to spray my hair. So now I use that. So we're just mainly here to create a space of just being, exploring your mind, exploring your psyche, exploring who you are and why you're here. But sometimes the why isn't even necessary. Sometimes it just is be, right? Be. It's good to cleanse your mirrors, floors, doors, and whatever else. Oh, interesting. What? Someone sent a gift over on YouTube. Thank you for that. I didn't even know YouTube had gifts. I appreciate that. Hello, welcome in, beautiful soul. Just be. If the version you were 2 minutes ago is different than the version of you now. That's beautiful and that's okay. And I love that for you. And I'm not going to assume that that person that you were yesterday is the person that you are today. I'm actually, moreover, going to assume that you've changed. I'm going to assume that each day you're a different person. And I'm going to give you a different chance. You know, when push comes to shove, if you keep showing up as the person that I know you could be better as, right? A different person. I might not add you to this group, or we might block you from this group, but that's not the intention that I'm saying here. But I am going to assume that the person you were yesterday or the person you were 2 days ago is not the person you are today, because we are evolving so much. So the ideas that you needed, the placeholders of energetics that you needed a week ago, might have already evolved, right? You use Florida water for door handles. How interesting. Y'all are teaching me so much about Florida water. This is my first time using it, actually, y'all. So allow that old energy, the energy that was a pillar for you a week ago, to cycle, to let the old go, to let the new version of you come in, to allow your highest authority to reign, to allow your sovereignty to be a pillar of your foundation. I'm getting full on vibration ringing in the back of my head. As we are releasing the old mentalities, the old images, they're going to release through sound. They're going to release through your skin. They're going to release through releasing physically. I use to clean my altar and tools. I love that. I love that. So feeling your solar plexus as things are changing in your body. What you want to release so that your light can shine even more. So that you can be more seen. And when other people see you and they want to be like you, acknowledge it as admiration. Other people admire your light. Whether it's hidden in jealousy or not, pull the admiration out. Pull it out through your perception, because you're a master alchemist. And you can do that-ish. You can. Because at the end of the day, it's not that serious, but it's the most serious thing that you can do. Let's bring in some light down into the collective, down to your crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar, sacral, and root. Pushing into the hips, the thighs, the back of the thighs, the knees, the back of the knees, the shins, the calves, the ankles, and the feet, pushing down into the earth, grounding from the bottom of your feet into your roots, connecting into the tree of life. All the way down, push your roots down. I think the sun just came out more. Or my connection to light just increased. All the way down to the crystalline core. Wrap your roots around the core. Anchor in. Feel that connection. Feel that gravitational pull on your root chakra, on your feet, bringing you into the earth on all of your energy field. Grounding you into this moment with deep light moving through you, through your crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar, sacral, root, all the way down. Consistently feeling this light flowing in. filling your vessel for transformation, understanding that you are here to be seen as guardians of the light, as keepers of the earth, as guides that are going to help us move through this energetic transformation and shift that is currently taking place on this planet. I love the beautiful symbols. Si ariamos con un cuaramos sondekia, shkonto kuaidia paidia masuno. Si ti amaramos sundukua. There's so many people that come on, specifically over on YouTube, that constantly are like, you need Jesus, run to Christ, you need Christ in your life. And I think they don't understand that the energy that we're here to bring is Christed. It's through the Christ example. It doesn't just have to mean Jesus. There's many beings that understand the Christed way. But it always just fascinates me, the limiting view of others. So, respecting Christ so much. That we act like the Christed way. And that's okay. That's okay. It's okay that they don't understand. Suani aramos no kuash andakai kiamas. Teiki mi aramos no kuai kiamas. Teshkundukwa. Sunukwashkananakimi Teunkwa Ramas Kundukwa Akiamas. Again, so much energy here. Welcome in, Erica. So much energy here of purification, of trusting thyself, trusting thy temple. It's very necessary for us to be strong pillars of life, of light, of truth in this time. So doubt really has to dismiss itself. It has to go. It's not helpful to doubt yourself. There's moments of allowing yourself to question yourself. But if we're constantly doubting our abilities or our gifts, it's a cycle. Observe it, take a step out, observe it, walk in a different direction, choose trust. When you trust your gifts, your life is in alignment with your highest good. And sure, when you're on this path, people are intentionally going to question you so that you know who you are. And that's the importance of this. There's people that are definitely going to push up against you as that divine light and dark balance of growth, right? The dark comes in to say, do you actually know who you are? And then the light version of you goes, yeah, I do. Thanks for asking. Thanks for asking. It can definitely be hard though. It can be very triggering to the soul when people question you. Or question why you do the things that you do. Welcome in from Kansas, welcome. It's important. And the thing I like to say is it won't be like this forever. And trust that. We're going to get good crystals that are real. How to discern the real versus fake. I always am going to say and suggest going in person to get crystals, not buying crystals online. Because when you can go in person, you can feel the energy of the crystals. And this is also a lesson of trust, learning to trust yourself. Go in person and feel the energy. Put your hand above the crystals and just allow spirit to tell you which one feels right for you to connect with. Once you do that, once you start to get greater discernment around crystals and your connections with them, then you can start to kind of energetically tune into maybe even providers online that you've met up with, that you know are good individuals. I mean, I definitely have some lovely crystal sellers in my life that I trust very dearly, and they take a lot of responsibility. Metaphysical shops, yeah, crystal shops, go in person. That's what I suggest. If you don't have any metaphysical shops near you, I'd suggest driving a little bit further. I think there has to be like metaphysical shop within an hour of every person. Like, I feel like that has to be the case. And sometimes they're just these small little shops that, you know, I don't know, but they're magical. And you have to go in. You have to go in. Trust yourself. Yeah, Adri, that's the thing. You learn by experimentation. But if you just doubt, if you're like, well, I'm afraid or I'm nervous that they're not for real, then you're never going to learn what is actually for real. You got to try it. You got to test it. Cavern shops. What's a cavern shop? What's the difference? Is that like, yeah, what is that? Guys, I have such a hard time lighting Palo Santo because it doesn't want to really light for long. Am I doing it wrong? Let me know if I'm doing it wrong, anyone. Where you go see caverns? What is a cavern, y'all? Why don't I know this? What is a cavern? Is that like a cave? A cave shop? What are you talking about? What is a cavern shop? Cavern. A cave or chamber in a cave, typically a large one. Okay. Do you just have caves near you? Is this normal to have caves near you? Okay, then there's a cavern menswear, which I don't assume that that's what it is. A crystal cavern, healing crystals, gemstones. Yeah, this is definitely probably going to get you the closest to, you know, the real connection, right? It's not going through different people or different sellers if you go to a cavern shop. If you have a cavern shop near you. Stalagmites. What a fun word, stalagmites. Let me see. A cavern shop near me. I don't even know if I got one. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. There's one in Ohio. Oh, wait. There's one. Oh, wait, no. Pawpaw. We got two in Michigan. Yeah, I be getting haircuts, y'all. I be getting haircuts. That's for real. Missouri has a lot of caverns. I love that. This is what I'm excited to when I go travel with the world, with the collective. Basically, I'm really excited about going to all of these places and learning all of these things. Like, I really have mainly only been in Michigan. Like, I've been places here and there, but it hasn't really been like culturally connected with the land. I'm very excited. Yeah, I'm very, very excited. There's going to be lots of good things that we do together. Okay, let's come into the collective. I think I might close out here soon. We're going to bring some light down through the crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar, sacral, root, hips, thighs, back of thighs, knees, back of knees, shins, calves, ankles, feet, pushing down into the earth, grounding through your roots, pushing this light all the way through you. Stay stable in this light, grounding all the way down to the crystalline core, wrapping your roots around the core, feeling the energetic pulse of Gaia's heart moving through your roots, moving through your body, feeling the energetic pulse of the heavens moving through you, and just feel this pulse creating your heartbeat, creating the rhythm of your nervous system. Allow your nervous system to relax here in rhythmic nature. Our bodies are naturally harmonized, naturally cyclical. Okay, feel into that. I have to visit Missouri. Absolutely, I will. Absolutely, I will. Don't you worry about it. I will. All right. And as I'm talking about this, go check out my latest vlog video about the things that I did. It's a fun video. I finished my trim on the things in my van, and then I also painted more of the van, and it was a fun little dance party. So go check that video out. I also have 5 things that I live by video over on the Lydia Joy channel. So we have Lydia Joy and Lydia Lives. Go check out both of them. It's fun entertainment. It's fun entertainment. And maybe some spiritual insight. Okay. Bringing this all the way down to the crystalline core, sending this energy out to the collective as we all find peace today, as we all find stillness, as we all find reverence for this moment, for one another, and for life itself. Thank you, universe. Thank you, God. Thank you, Gaia. Appreciate all. Bringing this energy back up through the roots, feet, ankles, shins, calves, knees, thighs, hips, root, sacral, solar, heart, throat, third eye, and crown, all the way up into the heavens. Allowing this to be your truth if it feels right to you, and bringing this energy all the way back down and around you. And so it is. And so it is, collective. Thank you for being here, you guys. Thank you for sticking around today, even though it was a little bit of a different program. But I think that was really good for all of us to just find a day to integrate after all of that beautiful energy. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Releasing out any last energy that doesn't serve us, letting it go, letting it flow, letting it go, letting it flow. Bringing unconditional love into every cell of your body, illuminating from the inside out, appreciating the love, the joy, the peace, the bliss, the honor of being alive here in this present moment. I see you, I love you, I honor you. Bringing golden light energy all around your aura, keeping you safe, sane, and protected. Bringing abundance all the way through you and into the collective consciousness field as we all shift together. Take a deep breath in. Thank you as well. Your energy is yours, and my energy is mine. And so it is. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I think I needed that peaceful start to the week. Yes, absolutely. I'm sending you guys all so much love, and I will see you guys back here on Wednesday. Bye. Bye, YouTube Collective. Love y'all. Oh, wait.